Hello everyone and welcome for race 2 of the second virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. I am today with Jean-David. Hello
Hello,
Jean-David.
Antoine. Hey, good morning, good evening, everyone. For each viewer on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
Thank you Jean-David. You can ask your questions on Twitch, YouTube and Facebook tonight and we'll try to answer your questions. We've had an amazing race yesterday with the win from Tim Kilstrup Madsen from Denmark. It was amazing to watch because he was really at the back of the pack, just waiting for the right time to attack uh, at the end of the flight. So it was amazing to watch. Great racing between all the pilots. So what I suggest, guys, is to watch a few minutes of highlights from yesterday race. Let's go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Race is on. Okay, so now every pilot has crossed the start line. See if they can find one of the highest energy lines. It is easier for the people behind of the first to see if he is climbing or not. And in this position of Wojciech, as he have two pilots in front of him, we can see if the right pilot or the left pilot is climbing, so he can choose his path with this information. And this information, the first pilot doesn't have it, so it is very interesting. You are not the first, but you have more information, so you can try to catch up the first pilots. And right now they are turning 10.1, so 9 94 kilometers flown right now, and straight to not straight to the other cumulus, to the other turn point.
To the other 2 points,
Yeah, they are flying a bit east race.
yeah.
Does Bedfest has turned the turn point 1 right now?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. He has, and he's doing something else. So that's
Okay,
very
so
interesting
yeah,
because they went really far away from the direction of turn point 2. I
yes,
don't know
exactly.
what they are doing now. They're aiming for a cumulus maybe, but that's quite far away. That's than more than 50 degrees off track. So they really need to have a very good thermal so that pays off. That does pay off. Jean-David, we are at turn point 2. Gata is the name of this turn point. As you can see, just in the lee of a river here, with some hills, and Arthur Duke from Poland is the first one to turn the turn point 2, but he's a bit too low. He's a bit too low. He will need to get Vic
Yeah,
Schoenemakers with his great skin and livery from the Netherlands here is turning turn point 3 now.
and look what
Well
is in
done.
front of him. Kuba and Vic has just turned the point 3, and you can see that the next cumulus cloud is
That's
very,
interesting.
very interesting view here, Tim, because we can see that around 10.3 there is absolutely no cumulus. So they know that turning 10.3 will get them lost of altitude. So they need to manage how much altitude they will lost, and if they can reach another lift before the outlanding.
Above Pavullo, the airfield. Maybe you can zoom in on that's the city of Pavullo that you see behind. Uh, that's really great. The runway with access to 0 and 02 of Pavullo. We have
Okay,
Kuba, Vic, they are above, they are
interesting. Yeah,
coming. They are coming now. And Vic is going for it. He
yeah.
goes for it. He does continue. He's not stopping. David
David
Rayman
Whitman.
is doing the same. I think they have enough altitude. Those guys, they have enough. Cuba is taking it and he's going to try to do maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more turns to get more altitude before pushing so he can try to get there. Benfest is going straight to it. Tim Madsen is going for
Okay.
it as well. Stewart Henschel a little bit behind. He needs to climb in.
Exact.
Let's go. We have Benfest here, and to the left we have Vic. Tim Madsen is very, very well placed.
Yeah,
He's above all of them. David
can
Redman
go
just
faster.
behind. 1,400 meters now for Tim Madsen, turning turn point 4, and
Yeah,
then
they
he
are
needs to
flying
go
very
to
fast.
Yeah, very well done.
Final turn point.
Final turn point is going for it. Then it's the reporting point. David Redman. So that's Vic, David Redman, Benfest.
Yeah, here we are.
Cuba is quite high as well. He can. Cuba. Cuba is going for the 5th place so far. He can probably get to 4th.
Yeah.
Because Ben is a little bit behind. Maybe he will be able to get the podium. He does push to 225 kph, trying to get to David Redman. Maybe you can have Tim Madsen view going for the turn point now. He's almost at the reporting point. He's going for it. Reporting point for Tim Madsen is only a few kilometers away now.
Yeah. 200 kilometers again.
5 kilometers away for Tim. He needs to be at 850. Vic Schoenemaker second on the reporting point. And they're going to fly just above the city of Pavullo now. David Redman just next to Vic Schoenemaker's. Tim Madsen is probably going for the win. What a race he's done. Honestly, what a race he's done, because he was a
Yeah.
little bit behind. And I think they've made a tremendous work here with GKK, Yarmo, and the guys who were just a little bit behind after turn point 1 and turn point 2. They did a
Yeah,
very
exactly.
good job to come back in the race. Really good job. It's never done until the end of the race in Sailplane Grand Prix. Okay, they need to be above 850 when crossing the finish line. It's going to be good
Okay.
for Tim Madsen. He can push a little bit more to secure the place. Maybe. Very well done, Tim. Very well done. 900 meters is going to go straight to 850. That's very good. Congratulations, Tim Madsen.
Tim Madsen, yeah.
Winner of
First
the
place.
day. Winner of the day. Well done, Tim. Well done. Amazing job. Amazing job. Who's behind? Tim was behind. Just behind him, we should have Vic. I suppose. Yes, Vic second. And who is again behind?
And David Redman,
Redman.
third
We,
place.
we, we can have a view on the number 6 maybe. Kuba pulling
Cuba.
to 850.
Oh,
We have Benfest joining here with Bisech behind. That
it was
finish line
very
was good.
intense. So Tim Madsen, first place for tonight race, 1 hour and 42 minutes 47 seconds. Just so he's the race winner tonight. Congratulations. Okay, so we've just seen the key moments of the yesterday's race. It was a very great race with a happy ending for Tim Madsen, who did it very well and have the package all along the race and finish first. Maybe we can have an overall look of the results of the yesterday's race. So Tim Madsen did it. He won yesterday's race, so he won 10 points. He did the race in 1 hour and 42 minutes, and just 14 seconds after him, Vic Schoenemaker made the second position. After him, David Redman on the podium. Kuba on the fourth place, Zipsek 5, Yarmo 6, Arne Martin on the seventh place. Arthur did the eighth position, and Vitold is 9. Benfest completes the first 10 places, but he didn't score any points for yesterday's race. Thank you, team, for the results of the race, and obviously the overall results of the competition are just the points of the yesterday's race, because just one race have been done right now. Antoine, we are now in Condor and we can see the pilots who are connected and the task. Maybe you can speak about it a bit.
Yes, we can have a look at the task. I don't know if you received me well so far. The start line is the same as yesterday. Maybe you can take over, Jean-David, and I will try to fix my technical issues.
Yes, no problem, Antoine. So for today's race, we start, as Antoine said, with the same turn point as yesterday, but we are going tonight in the southeast of the map you can see here for only 6 and 7 kilometers to Suvania. And then we are going to the mountain on the west of the map right now to Palerone, which is 83 kilometers leg. Then we go back here on the third turn point, which is Ponte di Cam, 38 kilometers leg. Now we can switch to the north to Signora. The turn point is named like that for 58 kilometers. Then we go back close to the airport for different report points until we finish on Pavullo's airport like yesterday. So the complete task, I can't find the complete task is 270 kilometers, and we expect them to complete it around 2 hours like yesterday. Thank you, Tim, for the overview. And if you see the task of today, zoom out a bit, Tim, please. It looked like an eagle, as Antoine mentioned it on the social media. If you missed it, you can follow us on our different social medias like Facebook, Twitter, and also on Twitch, YouTube, to follow every news we can send to you before the stream. Okay, so we are back for the second FAI World Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix right now. 19 pilots are connected. It is very good tonight, so everyone is ready. They are waiting just before the start line. We can see the weather for tonight, which is a bit better than yesterday, I guess. So this is not the weather for today, but the weather for today is about 2,300 meters to 2,800 meters of cloud base. We have 2/8 of cumulus clouds. We have the wind that comes from the southwest. Thank you, Tim. Come from the southwest for 18 kilometers, and we expect a strong gradient of wind, so the wind should rise as we climb, and this situation may appear some wave flights. We don't know if it will be available for the pilot, if it will be easy to catch, but we can expect some behavior of the weather like that. Okay, so the thermals today should be around 2 to 4 meters per second vertical speed, and it should be a great weather for today's task. Unfortunately, we had some news from the real competition today, and the wind in real life in Pavullo was too strong, the weather was bad, and the rain comes, so they canceled the task today. So the weather here in Condor is not exactly the same as Pavullo today, but we have the chance to choose it depending on the task we want to do, and we choose a good weather tonight for a great race we expect. Okay, thank you, team, for the great view. So you can see there are some cumulus clouds. They are better than yesterday. Yesterday there was smaller cumulus clouds. Here they have a good shape for today. So as you can see, the first leg is not really in the mountain. We are going in the south right now. There is some cumulus clouds to the first turn point, so it should be okay to make a great pass to the first turn point. Now the pilots are preparing themselves for the start. Right now we are 7 minutes and 6 seconds from the opening gates. At this time, the different pilots will have to be placed very well before the start line to take the start. They must pass under the start line we can see on the screen, and they have to avoid crossing the start line before the opening. So we are live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to each channel if you want to receive our news and to receive a notification when we are live. Make sure to thumbs up, to follow, and to ask any question in the different chats. I am watching them all. If you do not have question because if you fly often on Condor or in real life, you can support your favorite pilots, depending on if you support a country or if you support pilots. Send us a message. We will tell it, and the pilots will be happy to hear that they have a strong community behind them. Okay, Witold, the Poland guy, which is partner of the Poland group. There are a lot of Polish pilots in this competition. They made great flights along the qualifying sessions all along the year. They fly really well, and they proved it yesterday too. They managed to fly very well along the race, and they made very strong decisions. They show us very strong focus. They decide to go very north from the task, and it was very surprising. We expect them to do a very great flight tonight too. Okay, so 5 minutes before the start. We spoke about the weather, we spoke about the task. So tonight, the maximum wing loading is about 48 kilograms per square meter. And they need to cross the start line behind or below 170 kilometers per hour. It is ground speed, so they have to manage the wind also. Donapialogy, unfortunately, he didn't manage to connect to the race yesterday, so tonight is his first race, his first chance to score some points and to complete the gap from yesterday. Unfortunately, 10 of the 20 pilots didn't score either because they are on the 10 last pilots of the score. And tonight, Donapialogy have a chance to score some points. We wish him the best for today's race. We are now 3 minutes and 32 seconds from the start. Here we can see the live streaming for Vomcheck, who is a great setup. You can see here all this information. So yesterday we had another live stream. Tonight we have Vomcheck once. He's wearing VR headset, a great tool to fly at this level of the competition. With this, he can see everything around him. He also had an additional computer for the information of the flight. You can see the altitude, the average speed vertically, etc. Very great information for this type of flight. And he also had his BPM. That's a very interesting information tonight. We spoke about the stress and all the focus you need to fly in this type of competition with a lot of pilots and a lot of great pilots. So tonight we can see the BPM to understand a bit what the stress of a virtual pilot can be. 2 minutes and 10 seconds before the start. You can see that the pilots are joining the few square meters before the start lines. They are positioning themselves. A few ones are a bit away from it, but there is a small cumulus clouds just in front of the start line. And with the good position, the good altitude, they can manage to have the right amount of energy just when they go through the line. Now you can see that the pilots are not cycling anymore. They are above the maximum altitude of the start line, so they will manage to fly safely around the starting position, not to hit someone, so fly safely. During your security, watch out. And they manage also their energy to cross the line. Less than a minute now before the start of the race 2 of the FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix, the second one in Pavullo tonight. 40 seconds. The pilots are going closer and closer to the start line. Just 30 seconds before the start. They are spread over the line. They take all these lanes. Delta Line have an extra amount of energy. They're preparing just 10 seconds before the start. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Race is on. Okay, the start went well. Different pilots are well positioned. As we can expect, they are reaching the first cumulus cloud in front of them. And as a start race, the different strategies can be shown right now. Vieck on the lead right now. He didn't stop on this lift. He thinks it is not good enough, so he goes for it. I see you on the thermal, the first thermal of the day. So Kevin Van Balen, I see you. He didn't score any points yesterday, so he need to have strong strategy tonight to hope scoring some points. Just a few pilots stops right now, just after the start line. But Kevin's vario is very good, almost 3 meters. Was checking other pilots are flying together with Norbert Kiss, I can see, and with Arthur too. So we have 3 Polish pilots here with Norbert for Hungary. They take us about 2 meters per second, and another group is forming on the background right now. So the strategies are here. Some of the pilots decide to climb at the beginning of the race. Others just goes for it. They are going straight. Leaded by Vic Schoenemaker, Kilo Oscar Echo on the back of the screen. Vic is the second pilot of the overall score with 8 points. And we can see that ICU is already very high. Kevin The cabin ICU is about 2,200 meters right now. He's the highest pilot, and he climbed very, very fast, about 3 meters per second. So it was a very good climb. Benfest and the other pilot, Arne Martin, Jordan, and the others are climbing too. I don't know if Tim, you can show us the cumulus cloud they have above us, if it is a small cumulus or higher. Oh, it is a great cumulus. I know that these pilots are very good and they can know if the cumulus will give a strong thermal just with its shape. On the YouTube chat, we have John Davis who say good luck to Stewart, Golf Hotel Quebec, Golf Hotel Quebec, who is flying with us. He managed to, yes, we can see here. Thank you, Tim. So he managed to qualify for the final event of this year, the final of the Grand Prix. Stewart, you have a fan right there. So don't forget to send us messages. John Davis, if you want to see Stewart when you want, you can send us a message to know where he is and what his altitude, his situation, and we will give you a feedback just for you. On Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, send us messages to say hello, to support pilots. They love that. The leading group right now, you have Kuba, you have David Redman, you have Kilo, Mike India, Mihaly Knos, and ahead we have Donna Pierluigi leading this race. They are going low, but they know what they are doing. They may spot a great cumulus to go straight on it. Injection maker straight on the first turn point. There is a great cumulus between the first turn point and them, so I think they will expect to climb a bit there because the distance is right now 16 kilometers and the first leg is 28, so they need to climb a bit before crossing the first turn point. Thank you, Tim, for this view. So we can see that the different paths are quite straight to the first turn point. They are not making a lot of turns and deviation from the pass. So they are going straight. They see some cumulus clouds, they stop, they climb, and they go fast to the next one. First leading right now, Donna Pierluigi, next David Redman, and Kilo Juliet Kuba, the first three pilots of the race tonight. The experience of the yesterday's race, we can expect from all the pilots to win because until 5 minutes before the finish line yesterday, we can't say who's gonna win. So tonight, I don't bet. I don't bet tonight. We bet yesterday with Antoine. We both lost. We won't say on who bet, but tonight we won't bet because it's too tricky to know who is gonna win. Each of them are real good pilots. We can say that regarding all the flights they've made along the year on each qualifying race and yesterday on the final. We are approaching the first turn point, just 4 kilometers away. Formula Hypnos, who is flying A123. Okay, so as we could expect, just before turn point 1, Donna Pierluigi stop in a good climb, it looked like. David Redman stops too. They are only 1,100 meters height. It is QNH, so sea level. At Pavullo, the ground is about 700 meters height. So here I don't know exactly the altitude of the terrain, but we can expect just a few hundred meters above the ground. They are trying to find the great center of this thermal. Looks like a bit complicated. Maybe the power of this lift is less than they expected. And this is a tricky situation because when you bet on one thermal, you expect a great lift, and if you don't find it and you are low, you have no other choice than finding something to climb. Here we can see Kevin Van Balen way higher than the other pilots, and if he thinks that the lift is not good enough, he has more choice than the other pilots because he's higher. As you can see, -7 meters per second. It is instant speed. I can remember. So this variometers value are instant. It's not averaged and it's not compensated. So whenever they climb or they descend, the variometers is impacted. And right now, after a few minutes of competition for the race 2 of the second FAI virtual Sailplane Grand Prix, Vic Schoenemaker is turning the turn point 1 in first position. Well done, Vic. A long road to do to end this race. Kuba turning the turn point in second position. Mihaly Klos going for the third place at this turn point. And the instant podium has been made. Going now to turn point 2. Palerone. The heading is 277 degrees and we are running for a 84 kilometers leg. Okay, maybe we can have a look on the backpack because we are watching right now the heading pilots. But oh, this is a very good view. Thank you, team. The first pilot, the first one who has turned turn point 1, were fast on the first leg, but they were also low compared to the backpack. And as we said, it depends on the amount of energy. We have kinetic energy with the speed, and we have the potential energy with the height. And here, the group led by Benfest are much higher than the other. And okay, very interesting situation. We can see two strategies. The pilots who turned turn point 1 very low can't go to the mountain because they were too low. So it was not an option to make. But Benfest and the other have a sufficient amount of energy to go over the mountains and try to find a different weather situation. As we mentioned, there is some wind. Maybe the different ridge can give a strong behavior, strong dynamic behavior, maybe some good lifts all along the way through turn point 2. I don't know if Antoine has solved his small technical issue to join us after turn point 1. Otherwise, we will continue. Together, we use the viewers, so let's check out the different chats. Don't forget to send us a message on Twitter, on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. Does every pilot turns turn point 1 right now, Tim? Can you see what just say? Okay, so Arthur. Okay, so A33, Arthur Duke, who scored 2 points yesterday, is right now the last pilot, but is high, so he tried the option in the mountain. We will see if it is a good one at the end of the race. Yesterday, very different strategies. Was very strong, and we didn't expect the pilots to arrive at so close at the end. At the end, just a few seconds were between the final pilots. It was very impressive to see. I can't remember the overall time between the first and the last pilot to cross the finish line, but it was very close. Very interesting race. Here is Darius. Darius has chosen the mountain option, but he was lower than the other pilots we can see ahead of him. So maybe it will be a bit tricky to find the good thermal to climb over the mountains and to search for dynamic lift. Wow, great view, team. Thank you. So we have Vitold ahead of Wojciech, and boss pilots have chosen the mountain option. Thank you, team. We can see right now the Wojciech cam. Thank to him for this great view. It is always a pleasure to show the different Twitch view. Remember to subscribe to his channel because he's streaming our events and other great events in the Condor community. He's doing some great live and very interesting to follow. Again, you can see here the very interesting moves with his head to see everything around him, the cumulus, the pilots, the strategies that are taken by others, and BPM 290. This is crazy. Antoine, you're back.
Parfait. Je suis de retour. J'ai pas de son encore, Tim, but I'm back. I'm back with you, everyone in the race. Pretty happy that everything is working now with Wojciech and Jean-David.
Yes, so Antoine, I can give you a quick resume of the race. So everyone has turned turn point 1 right now, and 2 strategies can be seen. We have the first strategy over the mountain, led here by Sean Churchill and Golf Hotel Kilo right in front of him, so Stewart and Charles. And the second option for the pilots who were lower on the turn point 1 to go on the valley and to expect thermals right now. Thank you, team, for this great view, because here we can see the strategies and they are very, very different. None of them is straight to turn point 2, as you can see. The south option is the mountain one. We can see that right now Benfest and the other are following the ridge, which is drawn on the map, and the other are going north down the valley. It is very clear right now with this view. Thank you, Tim. Right now, for information, so I can see the altitude. Yeah, so Cuba on the valley option is quite low. It was just 800 meters height. So we will see if this option is interesting or not. Okay, so now we have another point of view. Vic makers are the landing gear is out, so maybe he tried to follow the mountain option, but it was too low and it was a trap. So no other option than making an outlanding. An outlanding for the one who don't know and who join us without a great experience in sailplane flying. The outlanding is when you can't reach the airport you've left at the beginning of the flight. And right now, Vic has just made a land out. It's a great turn, an impressive decision. Who turned wrong at this moment? Sorry for him. He was very good. Vic Schoenmaker scored second place yesterday, making an outlanding tonight. We can expect the other pilots to finish the race and to score. So unfortunately for him tonight, it wasn't the good decision, or it wasn't the good decision at this level of altitude. Tim Madsen, who is flying the ridge. Wow, we can see strong thermals. Even if it is instant value, 8 meters per second, we can expect a lift here. Arne Martin joining Tango Kilo Mike and other pilots in the lift. Maybe you can just turn to see the other pilots flying in this thermal. I think they expect a good lift right here to enjoy a bit more the energy of the ridges. It should be very strong lift right now.
I'm back with you, Jean-David. Finally, everything is working. Apologies for the technical issue. It always works before the live and then when you start. Murphy's Law. So,
We
well,
are sorry for you, Antoine, because it was a very great race until now, and I hope you will be able to enjoy the rest of the race. So every pilot has turn point run right now, and two options have been made. We can say there is the valley option for the one who were low on turn point one. Seems to be not the best one because the pilots didn't find the best thermals. We already have an outlanding. Vic Schoenmaker, who scored second yesterday, did an outlanding, a safe outlanding, as an instructor I can say. And the other pilots who took the valley option are quite low or they have some difficulties to climb right now. And the pilots on the mountain side are doing a great flight, very fast along the ridge. The ridge seems to give a strong amount of energy in the lift. So we will see, I think, a great race along the ridges for this leg.
that's great. Thank you for the recap. I've seen actually the outlanding from Vic. Do you know what happened exactly? Like he was in a bad situation and he couldn't just climb?
Yeah, I think Vic was one of the lowest pilot to choose the mountain option. He tried to follow the others, I guess, and unfortunately for him, he didn't find good enough lift on the first kilometers on the mountain, and
Okay.
he was faced the leaves, the mountains, and couldn't pass over this place.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, interesting to watch. They all went straight to turn point one. Okay, that's good. Ah, okay. Try to go to the mountains via this valley. Okay, okay. So he didn't. I'm quite surprised he didn't came to the other side, but maybe yeah, he was too low
It was
indeed, as
slow.
you said.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. But when the task setter did the task today, we were pretty sure that going to turn point one will be difficult, and that we would already have some differences in the groups here today because it was headwind. And it was a bit difficult with the valleys and the ridges coming after that. But then we knew that the race would be super fast today. So now we have so Witold Rozak leading the race with Wojciech Soltyzik from Poland. I see Stuart Henschel, GHK, with someone else. Then Arne Martin, Joshua Arndt, and then David Redman is at the back of the pack here with Darius Gudjunas from Lithuania. Mielik Nos from Hungary just reaching turn point one in a few minutes. And we have Donna Pierluigi in trouble as well, just next to the outlanding valley of Wickshonemakers. Thank you, Timothée, for this 2D view.
Yes, thanks to Mark's comment on the YouTube chat, he suggests us to change the background of the map to better have a better view on the relief because it looks very important today for the competitors. So we decided to change it. Thank you, Mark, for your message on the chat. Don't forget for the others viewers, you can send us a message to support your pilot, to support your country, to tell us which option you would choose if you were qualified for the final. Tell us what you think on the chat. We will read it and we'll be happy to do it.
Great. Back to the race with Norbert Kiss from Hungary as well. Next to him, Zulu Bravo Yankee is Bisec from Poland. Joshua Arndt. So we have a group of three pilots here chasing the leaders. I see Jarmo Karjalainen in front of the race with Wojciech and Witold as well in his GS1. GS1, a really good glider for 48 kilos per meter square in Condor. So really a great option for him, I believe. He is the only one to have chosen the GS1, but it's one of the best, if not the best, glider for 48 kilos in Condor. So I'm always surprised when they all go for the GS3 and the Ventus 3, but they are all very similar, but they have different qualities, different malleability. Uh, yeah, it's very interesting to have him in a GS1 today. He's the only one with this glider, so we will follow him throughout the event. We have great ridges here, great cumuluses to climb, and I was sure we would have a very good race going to turn point two. There are some waves. I think you've talked about it already, Jean David. But now we are approaching the mountains. They will start to be a little bit higher to have good lift. Maybe they will just end up in the wave like this. Maybe they will take it or they will leave it to go faster under the clouds with the thermals that we have. So it's good to witness. So Witold Rozak is leading the race now. Is at one point yesterday he was on ninth position, I believe, with his GS3.
He's
Very
taking the
stable.
revenge.
Yeah, taking a revenge now. And yeah, Benfest, as you said, he was supposed to get some points yesterday. He did a very good flight. We followed him quite often during the race. But unfortunately, he's at a 44-second penalty. And as you've seen during the highlights at the beginning of the live streaming, yesterday was very busy, very busy arrival with almost everyone at the same time, and he's lost it all. No points, no point for Benfest with the reigning world champion. So yeah, it was. He will remember that, but he told me after the race that yeah, he tried to slow down to use the maximum efficiency of the speed brakes and so on, but he could not make him to 170 kph. He just went over speed for crossing the line, so he got a penalty for that. That's the rules of the Sailplane Grand Prix. To make it safe, Jarmo Karjalainen, he needs to do a big
Yeah,
detour now
yeah,
to go over the mountain.
just a few meters higher, and he could go through these small mountains. Now he lost the second position to the third. He's
Yeah.
still in the competition, but right now we have the first three pilots with Vitold. We have Wojciech and Jarmo, the three first pilots. Race is on. Right now they are flying fast. They are flying straight to turn point 2. The mountains are really well placed to
Yes,
go.
it's really a good task that we have today. Did you say when presenting it that it was kind of a bird, looking
Yes.
like a bird? Yeah, you can really see it on the 2D view when you zoom out and have the full map here. You can really see that bird that is drawn. So that's quite cool. Benfest is here today with ICU. That's Kelvin Van Balen from South Africa, and Joshua Arns, his compatriot from Germany here, racing at 200 kph. I think that's the followers just behind the leading group with Wojciech Soltyzik and Witold Rozak. Oh no, yeah, that's correct. And we have Arne Martin as well who's there. So almost probably around 10 pilots here who are in front of the race. Very interesting. The race is still quite long. A lot of things
Oh, yeah.
can still happen. So that's good. Very nice view over the mountains here. Very nice view.
Yeah, Benfest has a great height right now over the mountain. It will not be disturbed by the small ridges which are perpendicular to the race and to the track. Is in great position to climb and to go fast all along the ridge. I think that Vitold tried to climb in a thermal with just one or two turns, but they decided not to stop and to race straight. Everyone is following the leaders. I think the option of the mountain was a good one. They are
Yeah, that
going
was
very
pretty
fast.
pretty obvious, Jean David. When preparing the race for the pilots, it was pretty obvious they would use the ridges today because the wind is quite good in Condor now. It's around 20 kilometers, almost 20 kilometers from the south west, and it was well aligned with the track and so on. So it was pretty obvious they would try to use the ridge as much as they can, and then break probably to the west to go to turn point 2. I think that's what we're going to see, what we're going to witness in the next minutes. Were the first gaggle busy after the start? How was it? The atmosphere and the mood of the pilots there, Jean-David?
Looks like okay. They spread over three thermals, so there was plenty of possibilities. So it was quite okay. There was no
Okay,
just one thermal just after the start line. There were three of them. They spread over different options. So I think the start line is always a stressful moment, but after this, it was okay. There were maximum 10 on the same lift, on the principal one, but after that, it was okay.
great. Great. Safe
Nice.
flying then from the pilots. That was emphasized at the briefing today as well for them. I told them, yeah, yesterday was really good. Please keep going with this mentality and so on. So yeah, looking forward for today. Is behind the mountains, which is not good, Darius, but maybe he's just trying to be behind to catch some waves. I think that's the aim for Darius. He's trying to get the wave there. There are probably some cumuluses just next to him. That's what I believe. Just above him, it's very turbulent, as you can see. Very, very turbulent here behind the mountains. Yeah, there was one Cumulus here. He was trying to get there, maybe climb to get into the wave, to make something different. But as you can see, it's very difficult. He's losing a lot of altitude by being on the wrong side of the mountain here. Darius
Yeah.
is a real pilot as well. He's the only pilot in history who has flown qualifiers in real life for the real SGP in the same series. He's flown in Lithuania, and I think he finished on the podium, third place, but he didn't qualify because you need to be on the second place to qualify for the world final. So he ended up on the podium in Lithuania. It was in May or June from last year, and he won the virtual SGP in Australia. Um, and then he qualified for this world final in virtual. So a very good pilot. He did an amazing job in Australia with very good condition, but as well some blue thermals condition which are not easy for the pilots.
Okay,
Some
so
pilots are stuck.
yes, exactly. Thank you, Tim, for this overall view. Some pilots, as you said, are stuck just after the turn point one. So we have here Donna Pierluigi, we have Kuba, and we have Kilo Mike India, Michalik Nos. They are stuck. They do not manage to climb. Michalik Nos is just 500 meters of height. Donna Pierluigi is 1,400 meter height. So it is the lowest pilot right now, and they are very, very behind the other pilots. David Runman managed to climb a bit to take the mountain options here in the bottom of the screen, and all the other pilots managed very well the ridge flying with the group on the left, the heading group, and we have Delta Knight Darius, who tried and to manage to keep the distance quite close to the heading group until now. I think we can see on the map that he followed a ridge, which was not the same as the heading group, but right now this ridge has stopped. He's on the bad side of the main mountain,
Yeah.
and he has some trouble to find a good lift, and it is obvious he's following the valley to fly safely and to trying to catch something to continue the race.
Yeah, I think he's gonna try still to catch some waves because now otherwise he's gonna lose a lot of time. He went for an option today, and he needs to continue with this option, whatever happens, because he's not gonna get any points by staying here if he doesn't make it in the wave. He has more than 10 pilots on the good side, if I may say that, on the correct side of the mountains here. And some of them are climbing even now. Witold Rozag with Arne Martin, Guttler, Wojciech. Very interesting. So Arne is second now in terms of total energy, and we have Witold first. Wojciech is third. Some pilots decided to continue. Amongst them is TKM, Tim Kilstrup Madsen, who won the race one yesterday. Very good flying yesterday, as we've said several times already. Uh, he was a little bit behind, just holding behind the pack, and he made some good decisions at the end of the race, and got the lead. Just took the lead before, just a few moments before crossing the reporting point. So it was absolutely amazing to witness. Very good airmanship from him. Arne Martin from Norway here in his GS3. Um, GS3, so a glider from South Africa, from the Jonker Sailplanes. I've had the information that Thilo Earligos, the CEO of Champ Air, who is building the Ventus 3 that Benfest is flying tonight, for example, is flown in Pavullo today. He's at the world final in Pavullo. He's a world champion in the Sailplane Grand Prix in the previous edition. And Thilo, he has flown the GS3 today out of Pavullo to try the glider a little bit, to see differences with the gliders he's making in Germany. So that was very interesting. I think there will be some videos on the YouTube and social media of FAI Sailplane Grand Prix. You can go have a look there. There are a lot of interview with Stefan Langer as well, and so on. So that's very interesting. They didn't fly today for the second race of the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix. Unfortunately, the rain came this afternoon. It was planned like this, so just cancelled, and it was as well a little bit windy still in Pavullo. Hopefully tomorrow there will be something. We all hope for this. Otherwise, there will be another race in virtual Sailplane Grand Prix, something that will be made up again from the task setting team. So yeah, just fingers crossed for tomorrow in FAI Sailplane Grand Prix. You can still have a look at the social medias there, because they still do interviews and so on around the SGP and gliding. How did the pilots get there and so on? So it's very interesting to watch for you, the fans and the viewers, to follow the real races as well. If we don't have real, we have still virtual races. That's a very good thing with virtual SGP. We can still race every evening and make sure that you can have a show every day during the Sailplane Grand Prix events. Witold Rozak here with us in his GS3, much higher than the others at more than 2,000 meters, Jean-David.
Yes, and if you are joining us right now on the different live, so Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, you are watching the second race of the second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix right now, which takes place in Pavullo. We have some messages from, I can say it, all around the world. Condorix82 say us on Twitch, "Hi guys, greetings from Argentina." And
Great.
John Davis said to us that he loves the 2D view to see the ridge routes. It is very interesting indeed. We can see the different routes on the mountain. It is very, very interesting. Don't forget to send us a message to support your favorite country, your favorite pilots. If you know one of them, we will read the messages and we will be happy to hear it
And encourage them. Yeah.
and encourage them, encourage us also for making
Yeah.
a great show tonight from Argentina or wherever you are. Thank you, Condorix, for your message.
Thank you, guys. Follow us on social medias and on Twitch and YouTube, particularly, to continue watching the race. Was super close.
That
That
was
was
close.
super close. That's gonna be a warning. I'm gonna give a small warning there, guys,
We will
from
add
Yarmo.
the BPM of the commentators also.
Yeah. I was a bit nervous with that maneuver. Okay. That was impressive to watch. We have Sean Churchill joining his compatriot Stewart Henshaw from the UK. So that's the leading pack now. Sorry, with Vitold with a little bit behind that pack, and we should be a little bit higher. That's correct. We have Vitold here. Very interesting. Now they need to climb, and they need to climb better than what Vitold has done a few moments ago. If you remember, they were here with Arne Martin and Wojciech. They were leading the race. They stopped in a cumulus that was not that great. I think the thermal is better here than it was a few moments ago. We will have a look at that. Pulling. Well
And
done,
Gold
Vitold.
is higher
And
than the other pilots.
yeah. He is at a good lead. He was really leading the race by a few kilometers, so that's quite normal to have more total energy, more potential energy. It's just converted that distance into potential energy to get higher uh, above the gaggle. Turn point 2 is just behind. That's where we're going. Kelvin Van Balen didn't stop to climb here. He's just going straight for it. He doesn't want to climb over the mountains. Maybe he was a bit too low over the mountains. He's just going straight to turn point 2 now,
Yeah,
trying to get straight routes because they are over cumuluses. Maybe the ones on the mountains are not that interesting. So that's a choice. I call this an attack. You can just attack the race, just like cycling guys on the road at the Tour de France. You can just take some decision like this throughout the race and try to get an advantage over your the other participants.
yeah. The idea and the decision of Kelvin Van Balen took a few minutes ago. We can see on the 2D view, maybe team that is his track is different from the other since a few minutes right now. He goes down to the valley and straight to turn point 2, maybe trying to join the other mountains on the south to go to turn point 3 faster than the other, even if the leading group on the north right now are very high compared to Kelvin. So a lot of potential energy right here, and I can see that the first pilots are leaving the thermals, going straight to turn point 2
Yes.
with a lot of energy. So they may going very, very fast.
Just having a look now at the 2D map, we can see as well who's behind. We have David Redman on the ridges here in the middle of your screen, who was third yesterday, third place. He's got 7 points overall, so that's quite good for him. But today is a bit more difficult. Apparently, we still have Donna Pierluigi and Miali Knos who are kind of stuck. I think Miali even outlanded. We will have a look at that. Kuba is there, maybe trying to get some waves, and Darius is climbing. Now we can see him terminaling. Can we have a look just to Miali, top right? Yeah, yeah, just right of the screen. I think he outlanded there because I do not see any trace anymore. And on the right side, you have the. Oh no, he's at 11,000. He's at 1,100 meters now, so he did not outlanded, or he outlanded on a high hill. Maybe you can have a look on Condor Tree because he is not moving. I believe we will have a look later, maybe, or wait 5 minutes to confirm that.
No, I can see that he is flying, not so high, not
Okay.
so quick, but he's
Oh
flying.
yeah, indeed. Indeed, it's moving. Maybe it's time to have a look at turn point 2 because Kelvin is joining that turn point in a few seconds, I think in about 2 minutes from now. And the leading pack is back in the race. That's it. We are joining turn point 2 in a few minutes. Vitold, who is just behind Vitold, and then we can go back to Kelvin, who's going to be the third one, the first one, sorry, to turn that turn point. Okay, we have
Stewart right
Stewart.
now on the third position. There is a lot of people behind him. Arnemart
Yeah,
Gittler, you
maybe
can see him, and all the others. Going to Kelvin right now, because Kelvin is about to turn
Kelvin Van Balen
the
from South
second
Africa.
point.
So turn point 1, Kelvin Van Balen from South Africa is leading the race now. He's taken an option to go straight in the valley and avoid some of the ridges that were east of that track compared to the main pack with a little bit behind, a few kilometers behind, but much higher. Well done, Kelvin. In his Ventus tree and turning the turn point 2, sorry, now. Very well done, Kelvin. First position leading the race now. And behind him should be Witold Rozak. As you can see, a few kilometers behind. And then the full pack is just behind. There are approximately 10 pilots behind Witold now.
Yeah, it is a very interesting situation because on the previous turn point, on turn point 1, we saw a few pilots went very straight to turn point 1, turning it very low, and they hadn't a lot of options after turning to turn point. So maybe Kelvin right now has not as much option as Vitold will have when he will
No,
turn the turn point. So it may be a very interesting decision that he's made. We hope to him the best to find a great thermal and to stay in the race because it's a quite dangerous situation right now. He must be very focused to find the great thermal and to keep it very intense race for him,
we'll
I guess.
yeah, we will find out in a few minutes with Kelvin. I think it's difficult because I think you needed to be quite high on that turn point 2, actually, because then what we see to go to turn point 3 are mountains. And I like to talk about Formula One, but today is more about sailing, I think, because you really need to calculate where the wind is coming from and where you need to go to be on the right side of the mountain to get all the lift and not to lose too much altitude and so on. You really need to think in advance what to do today, and it's difficult with the mountains.
Vitold, who is second right now on this second race of the Sailplane Grand Prix. He managed to do a very great race with a lot of rhythm until now. We expect from him a great race until the finish line. Right now, the second turn point will be turned for Vitold. Great turn points. Second turn point is turned for Vitold and Stewart and Shaw. Let's go right now to turn point 3. Arne Martin Gettler, who is following like all the others. A very strong group of great pilots are following. They are close. Oh my god, they are close. The race is absolutely not decided right now. We can't say anyone who's gonna win.
Okay,
And
interesting because we
yes,
have the main pack here, but we have Stewart Henschel going more to the left, going behind the mountains. So he's gonna take another route, maybe, or he's trying to go straight to the point. We told him is doing something different. He's going upwind everywhere, and all the pilots behind are doing the same. That's probably the thing to do today. Maybe stewards want to try something, go behind the mountains to try to catch the wave. The wave is quite strong today, a very good gradient, very good wave, but you need to get there to climb high and to take your time to be in the wave to make it. And yeah, we will see. We will see what it's like. He's going just straight to the point. Maybe we'll use the ridges that are just in front of him, and maybe it will be enough. Maybe it will be enough. Looking forward to see that.
yeah, maybe Tim, you can show us the 2D view to explain a bit more this option that Stewart Henschel has made. So if you can zoom out just a bit, we can see that the wind is coming from the southwest. So here below on the screen, a bit on the left. So the wind is pushing on the mountains, and I think there are 3 options. I see you. So Kelvin Van Balen has chosen to go back on the ridge they've took to go to turn point 2. Vitold is leading the group, who is going down to the ridges that are south here, and Benfest and Stewart are taking the option of searching the wave behind the mountains we can see on the bottom of the screen. 3 interesting options.
Yeah.
Not a lot of pilots took the option to go back on the ridge they've left. Maybe it was too big displacement, too big distance compared to turn point 3. We'll see, and we hope to have great flight for every option.
There is an option from David Redman here. I can see just between us. If you have a look, David is
Okay.
there. He's there, and instead of going straight to turn point 2, he just went towards those mountains and he's going to cross the path of Vitold and the other pilots probably, and maybe we'll get pretty high. That's the highest mountains of the day here, probably near Carrare, which is very well known. You will see. We'll explain it later. Very well known, Carrare in Italy, for the marble in Carrare. Uh, Vitold is there, so David is gonna go for the full tour here of the mountain, and yeah, that's interesting. That's an option as well. Maybe going through the valley was not the right one, and maybe he's going fast. Maybe it's quite high as well, so it's quite good. He's at 1600 meters for now. He needs to climb a bit, but we will see. Maybe it's a fast route.
Yeah, I think he's going fast because this point on the 2D view is going fast. A lot of displacement between each refresh of the map.
That's super interesting because we've had
Okay.
a group with Vitold doing the detour to avoid some downdraft and so on, going really upwind everywhere. And yeah, he's there, Vitold. And you can see they're on the other side on another ridge, same direction, but on another ridge, just behind Benfest, Stewart, Sean, and Yarmo. They went straight in. That's interesting. Now he needs to climb, we told, along that ridge. He will only pull when there are some good climbs throughout the ridge. It's really good. So the ridge flying is something a bit special. It's dynamic lift, and it's when the wind blows against the face of the mountain of the ridge, and when the wind encounters the slope, it's forced to rise. It has only one way. It needs to go up, and then it gives this powerful energy that you have in the mountains when the air ascends the slope. It's very common to use ridge flying in the mountains, obviously, and you can fly that for long distances. You can use it very efficiently throughout your flight. So the good thing with ridge is that you don't have to stop to climb. You can just climb and continue flying along the ridges. Just continue as long as there are some ridges. You can just keep going, at least without losing altitude, and maybe you will get even more energy. So that's very interesting to use the lift produced by the ridges.
Okay, some information and some messages from the different chats. I can read on Twitch that Condor X82 tell us that it was a close call a few minutes ago. We have two gliders very close, and his heart stops beating too. And he's saying that he knows Team very well, so TKM. He supports him a lot. Go Team, go TKM. Team helped him a lot to improve in Condor, and he has good willing. He will fly again in the Chin Chin server. So yeah, this is a great moment of the community of Condor. They know each other and they support them. We have Olmosente who was there yesterday to say go Ben. So we have a Ben fan with us. And on YouTube we have Yanni Villanen who say go Jarmo, go go go. We hope him the best. Thank you for all your messages, and again, support your team, support your country, support your friends. Don't forget to send us a message on the different streaming applications, Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to all of these channels to follow us on these races and on this great adventure, which is the virtual Sailplane Grand Prix.
Great views from Timothée. We are approaching Cara pretty soon, I believe. Maybe you can zoom out even more to see. Yeah, so Cara is just to the left, just to the left, bottom left. You have Cara, bottom left of the mountains there, just on the other side, on the side of the where the sea is located. Actually, on this side where the pilots are, you have Cara. So that's really on the other side, Tim, from here, from where we are, and it's very white. It's a blue-gray marble. It's known for its elegance and beauty, and its historical significance as well. So it's we are in Tuscany now, in Carrara, and yeah, it's been carried for centuries. Carrara marble. It's used for various forms of art, architecture, uh, and throughout the ages, everyone is going there to take some marble. So that's really a part of history of Tuscany in Italy, Carrara. Very very great to visit if you're going there one day. So that's just this chain of mountain here, and Carrara is just below on the left of the screen now, behind Vitold. It's really light gray, as you can see, right? Yeah, exactly, right there, Tim. We have David Redman here. Where did he go? Ah, okay. He went here,
Yeah, he's
going
at
for
the end of
2.2.
the ridge and he's going straight to turn point two. He's a bit late on the race, but he managed to arrive it. Oh, we have an interesting information. We have ICU, Kevin Van Balen, who finally decided to join the others. So he has made a very long route to come here. He decided to go north to go back to the mountains from turn point one, but finally he changed this mind and his option to follow the other pilots. So yeah, it was not a good decision to fly back to the north mountain. The southwest looks better. He saw that and decided to go back with the other on the south mountain. Tim
With Tim
Madsen,
Madsen.
yeah, right now flying on the ridge, is at the end of the leading group. Around 10 pilots are flying fast along the ridge, going straight to turn point 3. The distance flown is about 140 kilometers for Vitold, who is first right now. Great average speed along the ridges, as you said. You can climb without cycling, so without stopping, and this is a great way to improve your average speed, which is the key to win a Sailplane Grand Prix. Thank you, Tim, for the overview. Maybe Antoine, you can comment us.
Yes, so we are just in between turn point 2 and turn point 3 now. We have most of the pilots that are more or less together now in kind of the same pack, just following the same ridges, and the race goes fast. It goes fast. They are flying fast, trying to get some advantage of the ridges there, and then they will have to go to turn point 4, which is west northwest, west northwest of Pavullo, and then they will come back to Pavullo. We are just next to Carrare. If you're joining, the very famous and well-known uh, place to get some marble for architecture and so on. We talked about it a few moments ago. So yeah, we're just in the middle of the race with Witold Rozak leading for now. Arthur Duke just behind. Ben Fest is here. Bisech, John Churchill, Stewart and Shaw, Jarmo Karjalainen, Norbert Kiss, Joshua Arntz, TKM is there, and we have Voshech behind with ICU. That's a good group of pilot there. In terms of outlandings, we've had Wick Schoenemakers. I see that Donapierre is now at almost 2,000 meters, but he's quite far behind, very far behind. He's been stuck at turn point 1 for quite some time.
Yeah, he finally catch up a great lift to avoid being stuck for all along the race. He will manage to continue the race, even if it will be very, very hard to catch up the first pilots and to score any points. It's great to try it until the end of the race. And we have a message on YouTube, John Davis again, who said, "Good job from Sean Sierra 19. You have right. He's now fifth on the lineup, and he managed to fly very well. He's high compared to the other flyers. So, yeah, thank you, team, for the view around 2,000 meters. Great place, a very dynamic flight. He's catching up all the good pilots in front of him. So, very, very good position at this time of the race. Good job, John.
Exactly. Exactly, Jean-David, we are reaching turn point 3 in just a few moments from now. Witold Rozak just taking a lift, and I think everyone is stopping to take it because then the wind is going to push them towards the turn point, and they're going to be able to go afterwards to turn point 4, and they want to climb because there is a valley to cross, as you can see with the river. The turn point is again just next to a river and not on top of the mountain, obviously, so that the pilots can safely turn this turn point. Climbing, then turning the turn point 3, Ponte di Cam, before going back to the mountains after crossing the valley. Yarmo joining them in the GS1. Stewart Chanchal is there. We need to be careful there when you're coming in to circle and climb in the thermal.
Yeah, as you said, a very great strategy to fly, a very safe strategy to climb before this turn point. There is a long route after this one to catch up any ridges and to fly fast. We will see how long the pilot will stay in this climb before going to turn point 3. I think that Stewart and Charles made it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Benfest 2.
He's
Some
going
pilots are
for the turn point.
Yes, some pilots are going for the turn point. Maybe Tim, you can trust Stewart.
So that's turn point 3 with Stewart Henschel now leading the race at 1,700 meters, 230 kph. He needs to turn to the left to go to turn point 4. There is a valley to cross before joining the mountains. That's where 269 here is, but 269 needs to go to turn point 2 first. He's quite late on the race. Just behind him, we have Norbert Kiss turning the point. Benfest is here. He's turned the turn point 3 as well, and the 10 other pilots are just behind, still in the race for the win tonight.
Yeah, Sean, who was very high compared to the other competitors, take his time to climb a bit more. It is a safe decision because the climb should be good. You know that he's in a safe place, very high to turn the turn point 3 and going safely to turn point 4. He has plenty of option in front of him. He has a chance to see what the other pilots will do. It is the silent competitor, Sean, right now. He's waiting silently, just a bit higher, waiting for the other to take options, to make decision. He's analyzing everyone just behind, and maybe the few meters at the end, he will use his potential energy, converting it into kinetic energy, and maybe won the race. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
That's
I'm
true. No,
putting a
no,
bet.
that's very good to say that, Jean-David. That's very true. Like he's just behind all the good guys here, just watching what would be the best options, picking the best ones, trying to pick at least the best ones, and he's kind of doing what Tim Madsen was doing yesterday at the end of the race, and he just went for it at the very end. Tim, we didn't see him leading the race at all until the very a few the last moments of the race yesterday. So that's very interesting, very clever for him, and I think he's in a very good mood, very good flow today. Sean, you've said it. Some people noticed it as well in the comments today. He's in a good mood, very good mood.
Yeah, and as I said, this situation is very good because he is higher. Following good pilots when you are lower, it's very, very difficult because you don't have the same options. Maybe you have fewer, and it is very stressful because when you just miss one thermal, you are late, and the gap is getting higher and higher. So here, Sean, it is a safe place. Very great flight for him. We have some messages on the YouTube comments. Kikiliku said, "Hello everyone, merci for organizing the commentary and the live." And he asked us one question: Are the competitors allowed to enable visual aids, or they are flying as realistic as possible? That's a great question, because if you have already fly in Condor solo on your own, you know that you can add some help, some virtual aids to see the thermal, to climb with a magic line to gain 500 meters at once. So here in the virtual Grand Prix and on other competitions, these type of aids are not allowed. They are flying as realistic as possible. No aids is allowed. And just the thank you very much, Timothy, for this cockpit view. The only help you can have is this type of computer. You can see just here. It is an external computer from another developer, not Condor. And this type of computer gives more information than the computer in Condor. And it is a personal help. It is a tool to develop more strategies and to have more information than you can have it on Condor. But the conventional aids on Condor, like view the thermal or getting higher instantly, are not allowed, obviously.
Hey, Vocic is there. He knows that we are watching him. You can see his bit rate, earth rate on the left side of the screen. That's pretty good as well to witness that. We can see his entire setup here, how he's flying and so on. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Thank you for seeing that, Vocic.
I think he showed us every map he can have on this computer. So very kind from him. We can saw a lot of information, the relief and etc. So thank you very much.
Very good. In the Ventus 3, sorry, Ventus 3 is flying really well. You can see the other pilots just below him now. He knows there is something around because some were thermaling probably, and he's going for the ridges, just as what Vitold and Yarmo are doing. We can see Sean Churchill 1 kilometer in front of him, much higher, probably a few hundred meters higher. He's in a good place as well. He's in a good place. He's much higher than most of the pilots in front, so that's a good position.
Yeah, very great right now.
Back with Sean. So Sean Churchill at 1800 meters now. Is qualified through the virtual sailplane Grand Prix of Vinon in France. It was at the beginning of summer in 2022. He's flown gliders in real life as well. He's done some competition, especially when he was a junior pilot. He started gliding when he was 13, Sean. And yeah, he had to stop after the British junior nationals because he's had to work and to start life, and obviously that's a reason to stop flying in real life for a lot of people, unfortunately. So he was like, okay, I'm just gonna continue with Condor now. Because that's the only option for me to fly, and that's as well why we have the FAI virtual gliding initiative that's been launched. That's to have all of those pilots who couldn't continue with the reality of life to fly. So they just fly virtually, and hopefully, when they get more events in life, they can come back to gliding when they are 45 or 50 and they have more time. It's often like this that it works in the gliding world. Unfortunately, we would like to keep more people in the loop, so virtual gliding is there for them, and that's very good to see him.
Yes, and there is a strong and a great community around virtual gliding. You can meet a lot of people flying each night at different local time on different server. It's very funny, very friendly. You can fly competition, very strict and very realistic competition like that, or maybe more funny competitions. It is very a great community, virtual flying. We have some
Bedfest,
messages. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
We
No,
have
no,
some
no. It's okay.
messages from Sim Simone who say hello to everyone. We have Julien Lieta again who watched the live yesterday to say cheers to the presenter and the Reggie. Great job. Thank you very much, Julien. Don't forget to send us messages to say hello, to encourage your favorite pilots. We have very interesting messages on Twitch. Condorix say we need Condor 3. I know. And he's
So
laughing.
I have one message to say. You must come tomorrow because tomorrow I'm going to be with René Vidal from the FAI, who's working on Sailplane Grand Prix as well. We're going to join and comment the race. And there's going to be Chris from Condor, from the Condor team. He was there 2 years ago as well for the World Final. He will be there tomorrow. We will maybe say some stuff about Condor, the development of Condor 3, and so on. So you should have a look at the race tomorrow, that's for sure. All the pilots are climbing now, and I suggest we have a look at something else for a few moments. We've launched a giveaway with our partner Trustmaster. Uh, we're going to see that in a few moments. We've launched that just before the race. It was like 2 hours ago. You can win 2 packs. So one pack on Instagram, one pack on Facebook. You can win 2 pack of OTAS T16000M. There from Toastmaster, you need to go on Facebook and on Instagram. The giveaway is there. Thank you, Tim. So on Facebook and on Instagram, you need to follow both accounts of Toastmaster and FAI Virtual Gliding. Share the post and comment, and then we will announce the winners during the final race. It's your chance to get something for your nephew or for yourself. If you already have a setup, just bring it for Christmas and offer it to someone in your family. And if you want just to improve your setup yourself, you can just participate and try to win it. If you're a young pilot who wants to discover virtual gliding as well, you can try and get a chance with the giveaway prize. It's on both Facebook and Instagram, and you can try on both accounts. There is one lot for Facebook and one for Instagram. There is a promo code. Otherwise, if you don't get anything, 15% off for Trustmaster stuff, specifically chosen by Trustmasters and us, dedicated to virtual gliding. Only stuff that can be used for virtual gliding. You can use them on flight sim as well, on farming simulator, on whatever, even on F1. I'm sure it works. So you can use that. And on the right, you have a QR code if you want to join the virtual gliding community and fly with Condor. We don't have any partnership or anything with Flight Sim, so I cannot give you anything, unfortunately. But you can join us with Trustmaster and Condor, and we can get back to the race now. Thank you, Tim. So they climbed on top of that thermal, getting back to the ridges now with Witold Rozak and 2 other Polish pilots there. We have Stewart Henschel. I've seen Ben Fest, I believe, and we have Sean and Jarmo Karjalainen leading the race.
Yes, thank you, Dee, for this 2D view. Very interesting. They've reached the highest point of the mountain at Monte Prado, and they are now searching for the next option. They split a bit because they were very, very grouped until now. At the end of this mountain, I think that Sean and Jonan are going straight to the next turn point, which is quite far away right now. They will need to find other lifts under Cumulus, that's for sure. And the other pilots are following him. Arthur, which is quite high, 1,900 meters, is taking more left. Maybe you can zoom on the heading part. That's a Timothy. He's going left, following the ridge a bit more, and maybe he will leave it in a few minutes. Behind the heading group, we have the other pilots who try to catch up, who continue the race, even if they are a bit late. We have David Redman, we have also Kuba. If you zoom out a bit, we have Darius, and finally we have Donna Pierluigi, who are at the end of the race right now. Maybe we can go back to Condor to see the option they have to reach turn point 4. So turn point 4 is right now on the screen, just in front of us, and there are some cumulus clouds all along the way. Should be a good option. trying the cumulus, the one after the other.
Very good. So, heading to turn point 4 Signora, we are just halfway between turn point 3 and turn point 4, and then the length of the next leg between turn point 4 and turn point 5 is going to be 45 kilometers. Then there's going to be 10 kilometers to go to the reporting point, and then there are 6 kilometers exactly between the reporting point and the finish line. It's the same arrival as yesterday and as in the practice race as well for the pilots. So they know it, they know how it works for the arrival tonight. So after that turn point 4, there's going to be only, I've said 55 only 60 kilometers after turn point 4 before crossing the finish line. Actually, if they climb now on those mountains, maybe they can be high enough to glide straight to the finish line. They can do that with calculated that with the SAS setter today. They can try to climb as high as they want, as high as they can, to try to do a finish glide, but that finish would be at probably 140, 150 kph. And I don't think they will want to do that because they like to push in virtual. I know that. But that's as well because the game is made like this. There are not enough uh, good. There are not enough downdraft and updraft, I would say, in between the thermals, and so it's more difficult to do a very long glide. It's kind of very homogeneous, the weather and the final glide and so on. So it's difficult to do it very early. In real life, you can start your final glide 100 kilometers away and so on. It's one of the differences between the real and virtual world. Maybe in Condor 3, fingers crossed, it's gonna get better. But we will have a chat with Chris tomorrow about it for sure. Stewart Henschel is there among the leader of the race, 1,700 meters, taking a thermal now.
Yes, he chose to leave a bit the heading group, maybe to attack, as you said previously. If you only follow the headers, you won't have a chance to make the difference. So right now we are arriving in a flatter area, so you need to find the great thermal with a stronger lift than the other to improve your average speed overall. And I think that this is what the pilots are trying to do right now. We have Sean and Yarmo on the head. They are going straight because they are high and they have plenty of choice in front of them. They can reach thermals and cumulus that are very far away from them.
Yeah, they are far away. I wanted to say, actually, Sean is trying something. It was Stewart, sorry. Stewart and Sean is trying something. We were talking about a long glide and so on. If he's climbing high enough, and maybe he's trying to get a very good cumulus, one of the last from the mountains with some thermodynamic help to get a better thermal. Maybe he's trying to have the best thermal as he can before reaching lower altitudes, but I think he didn't make it. He tried, but he didn't find the thermal. So he lost some time here, unfortunately for him. But it was a very good try. He needed to try it because maybe he would have had 4 meters per second, and he would have easily take the lead afterwards. So it was something to try to get all the points today. Something to try, and he's still in the race. You know, he's gonna continue. Maybe will be a bit behind. There is a cumulus that is forming right in front of him. Actually, maybe he's seen that from the beginning. There is one forming just in front of him. That's going to be a very good spot for him. Very good spot. Looking forward to see what it's going to give. And on the left side, we have Alpha 33, Witold Rozak, who is there. All the pilots are there. Thank you. And you can see the track of the current leg and the next track that is going from turn point 4 to turn point 5, going eastwards.
And look at the pilots who spotted the small cumulus you were talking about. So TKM, Tim Madsen, they are going straight to it. Norbert Kist, it is an option. If it works, they will climb fast and they may go, they may reach a better average speed, gaining some points, some places. This is his time because actually Sean didn't and couldn't see this small cumulus. He faced a
We will
different
see.
situation.
Ah, yeah. Exactly. Sean didn't see it. He continued the route towards turn point 4, but that's going to be very interesting. Maybe it is the hold up of the day for Tim Madsen with higher than those two guys here, and maybe he's going to just hold up the race just like yesterday. He's well placed here. I think it's going to be a pretty good thermal. We can see the cumulus evolving quite fast and in a very positive way. So that's quite good for those guys. I'm really looking forward to see how high they can climb in this one, because that might be the last one for them, if they can glide well in the next few kilometers. We will find out in a few minutes. Let's go back to Sean Churchill, approaching the turn point 4 here. Very well done. So Sean Churchill is there, the UK pilot. 1,300 meters, 206 kilometers flown so far in the race, approaching turn point 4 and leading the race for now, followed by still more or less the 10 same pilots behind. We have Jarmo Karjalainen from Finland, and we have a group with Witold Rosak, Wojciech Stolczyk, Benfest, some top contenders behind, but Sean is leading the race now and is taking an option before the arrival. Very well done at 220 kilometers per hour. And now he's going to try to get a very good lift before going for the final glide. Jarmo from Finland is second, turning the turn point 4. Signora just next to a river as well. Very safe for the pilot to turn those turn points. Very easy for them. 180 kilometers per hour, slowing down a little bit at 1,400 meters. Very well done. What's in front of them? We've seen that it's not that great. There are a few kilometers a bit further away. But yeah, Sean is going off track to the left, and the wind is pushing from the right. So it's downwind now. So he's going to have to go a little bit upwind to go to that turn point 5. And we can see in the background Tim Madsen, TKM, and Stewart and Scholl climbing into that thermal, which is a little bit further away. But it seems like a good one. Very proactive cumulus, positive one, evolving really in a good way. And I think it's a pretty stable thermal. I'm going to have a look quickly on YouTube because Tim is doing live streaming as well. You can have a look for that. Some of the pilots are doing that. And I will have a look at his average climb rate for now. It's 2.5, around 2.5 meters per second for Tim, and it's increasing, so it's quite good. Thank you very much, Timothée. He's taking it because it's a safe one. It's a very good one, and he knows that it's going to be well placed. He has already 10 points. 10 points is leading the championship now, Tim. So no risk. He wants to be in the top 9 today, maybe top 5. He's just climbing there to make sure that he's going to be well placed at the end of this second race, of this second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. It's a good option for the pilots, for Tim and for Stewart and Scholl. Thank you very much. Norbert Kiss is here as well. Thank you, Timothée.
Yeah, Tim Madsen did a great decision to try this thermal. We can see that the pilots who has turned the turn point 4 don't go straight to this thermal because it may be too far away from them right now. There is a small cumulus forming straight on the pass through the final turn points. They are going straight to it. We have some messages on YouTube also. Yanni is very, very pleased to see JKK Yarmo on the second place. He followed him from the first moment of this race. He encouraged him, so he's pleased to see his pilots at this place. Very, very pleased. And this is it for the messages on the live stream. Don't forget to support your favorite country pilots at this moment of this race. It is key moments right now. Some pilots are still climbing, maybe to start the finish glide, and other pilots are trying to catch them last lift right now.
That's interesting. I think they're turning right towards the cloud of Tim Madsen because they're like, that seems okay. Oh, and there is another one. There is another one actually just in front of them that has popped up. It wasn't there a few moments ago. So that's very, very good. They are very lucky. Huh? It wasn't there when
Yes.
they turned the turn point. Let's see. Yarmo maybe leading the race. Yarmo. Very good. I think it was a good option to continue on track and just to hope for something or go upwind. We will see what happens in the next few minutes with Sean
Yes.
with downwind. Yarmo trying to find the core of the thermal now and to climb. Sean is behind. Okay. Maybe we can have a look at the 2D map for a few seconds to see where are the top contenders for the end of this race. That's the turn point 4 that we see uh, in front of us. We have Sean who has turned that with Benfest, Vitold, who are trying to take something with Yarmo that we've seen a few moments ago. TKM still there, needs to go with Stuart Henschel and Norbert to the turn point. We have ICU that is there. Kelvin is back in the game. Kelvin, what's your altitude? It's 700 meters, so it's quite low. He will need to find something. He's risking an outlanding. It's not high at all. Joshua Arns is turning now at 1900 meters. That's really good, pretty high. And Alpha 33 is at 1500 meters approximately now. He's tried to get something. I think he's climbing in a cloud now.
Yeah, I think so. Right now, the team leaded by Tim will push. They will attack. It is the right moment to do it.
Ben is pushing. Ben is attacking now,
Yeah.
followed by Vitold Rozak. He needs to get some points because Vitold had 1 point yesterday. He had none because of penalties. He was supposed to get 5 points, if I'm correct, and he's got none just for 44 seconds. 44 seconds penalty. So he needs to get the first place today to have a margin of 2 points over the second place. If Viltos is second, he really needs to score points, Ben. So is attacking and going for it. Looking forward to what's behind and if Yarmo was able to climb because those three guys are flying straight to the line. Okay, Vosech trying to get something here at 1000 meter. Left turn, there should be something. We will see in a few moments. There are quite some cumuluses. That's a promising arrival that we see. Yarmo is behind with Bisech, turning left to take something.
And interesting, we can see Sean right now. We left him for a few minutes, but Sean is right now. He's not very high.
Yeah,
100 meters right now. He's pushing because maybe he saw the other pilots headed by Benfest who are pushing. He's following them. They will try to find the good lift to start the finish.
they have
And
something.
yeah, Sean is trying to follow them.
Yes, I think he made a mistake. He was first, and I think he did not anticipate maybe enough the next turn point. He went downwind, which was not the good option, and it's been okay. We see Kelvin being in a bad situation now. We will follow him for a few moments. Hopefully, he can get something in this area because it's not easy. Uh, I'm not sure about the fields. Maybe there are some in the valleys just behind. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what's gonna. Yeah, there are some fields next to the river behind. He can come back behind if it doesn't go well. We can see some shadow of a cloud, so there's probably a cloud somewhere here, and he will need to climb. We can get back to the race. Indeed, Timothée Zbiseczkos, thank you for the view. So we can see where he is.
And where the pilots in front of him are. So we have a leading group of Ben, Sean, and Vitold, the three heading pilots in a good climb, it seems to be.
Exactly. It's a pretty good climb, almost 3 meters per second. We can stay there for a few minutes with some close-ins, and then we can go back to see what's happening with Tim Madsen and then with Yarmo, because they were here a few minutes ago leading the race and having they have taken another option than those guys who are at 1300 meters. So that's interesting for the end of the race. Tim Madsen, so 1900 meters, much higher than Arne Martin, who is there. Yeah, Ben and Vitold are quite far away now. They are 10 kilometers further into the race. So that's interesting. They have a higher altitude. I think the whole group will merge again, just like what happened yesterday. They will just merge together before the end of the race. This thermal is going to be the last thermal for them, and it's a critical one. For Vitold, Ben, and Sean, it's probably the last one if they believe it's a good one and they can keep it. Uh, 2.5 for the McCready of Tim Madsen, but it is not that's the one to the next leg. That's not the one to the finish line, I think, because I don't see the +1 or +2 on the PDA of Condor. So he still has some kilometers to fly to reach the turn point. First of all, he needs to climb. He's not high enough. He needs to climb.
Maybe we can have a look at Yarmo to see where he is, because the viewers ask for news. They say, go Yarmo, go Yarmo. So maybe we can have a look. He stopped a few minutes ago trying to find the good thermal, hoping that it is the one higher than stronger than the other to make the difference at this critical moment of the race. Okay, so he's reaching 1900 meters. Yes, right now the situation is very clear. He's waiting here, climbing as fast as he can, waiting for the moment to be on final glide and trying to glide best as he can until the finish line. We wish you the best for the end of this race. Thank you, team, for this 2D view. So we have Wojciech on the first place right now, but he's only 1000 meters high, so he needs to climb before going on fine glide. I think he is climbing right now because we can see this altitude rising a bit, but he needs to climb. The time to climb, maybe the other pilots will go through him, and he will not be first at the end, because just after him we have Vitold and the others who are quite high right now, 1600 meters. They are climbing before the fine glide, and maybe we can see where Tim is. I can't find him. Oh, thank you, Tim, for the Vitold view. Clearly, he's heading much some more cumuluses. Try to choose and to find the best path to the end.
Great, Benfest. Maybe we'll get the points today. I hope you didn't get penalties again, but you told me yesterday, that's a lesson learned. I will be careful next time. And that's why penalties are made, so that you remember how much points you lost with those penalties, and you don't make the same mistakes the next day, and you don't endanger the flight of other pilots. You don't have collisions and so on. Tim Madsen, 1700 meters, going to turn point 5. He's turned turn point 4 already. 222 kilometers flown out of 270 kilometers.
Exactly. And speaking about penalty, we have some questions in the chat, which is very interesting. Kekiruku said, if I remember well, stay within glide range. I say what out of landing field rule was implemented for the French Virtual Championship. Is a similar rule enforced today for the VSGP or not?
No, no, there's not a similar rule with this because we accept the sporting risk, and it's the same in Sailplane Grand Prix because you can reach a landable field even if you are far away on a ridge, because a ridge can keep you in the air for quite some time and can keep you safe. And so on, and we accept the risk for the pilots. It's very different when it's a final, a world final, rather than a national championship, when you want your national pilots that don't have a lot of experience to learn how to fly properly and safely. It's really not the same objectives for this race than for other national events. Not at all the same objectives. So not the same rules as well. And we are trying to follow as much as we can the rules of the real Sailplane Grand Prix, obviously for these virtual SGP races. Back with Vitor Rosac, unless you have another question or remark,
Yes.
Jean-David, from the chat.
Maybe just a few words from Almosante on Twitch. He said that very nice to see the MacReady values on the PDA just a few minutes ago, and he has a more funny question. Do they have virtual bug wipers on Condor?
No, they don't have in Condor 2. No, they don't have bug wipers. There
Okay.
are no mosquitoes on the wings, so no bug wipers.
Thank you for all these questions, and don't forget to send us more if you have questions until the end of this race. Just encourage your pilots or your country on the chat. They need it in this very stressful moment of the race where nothing is played.
So Sean is a little bit behind Ben and Vitold, but with a little bit more altitude. I think when Ben and Vitold are going to stop to climb, because they will need to do that, then Sean is just gonna join them at more or less the same altitude. And now we can see Ben Fest maybe trying to get something, pulling, turning to the right to get into something. Maybe I think that's a big probability that they end up with not a very good climb, and that we have the guys behind just joining them and being just above. Maybe there will be TKM. You see Joshua Wojciech very well placed, because then you have very good cumuluses to go to the turn point. As you can see, Wojciech, Joshua, Tim. So Wojciech Soltysic, he has a very good option here. He's the leading pilot of this pack that we have in front of us. And then he will be, I believe, high enough. He will just have to follow the ridges. Not the ridges, the clouds here, the cloud streets, and he will get some more energy with just below the clouds. Sorry, with the last few thermals that he will cross before crossing the finish line. And yeah, he has a good option. I think it was good to slow down a bit and to try to get the best thermal. And now there is a really nice cloud street. So turn point 5 is just behind the logos that we have on the screen. Yeah, just in front of us now, turn point 5. Then to the left to turn point 6, a very short route. It is only 10 kilometers to go to turn point 6 from turn point 5, and then only 6 kilometers to the finish point in Pavullo to cross the line. So that's going to be very, very quick. Those final moments of the race, only 16 kilometers to go when we reach turn point 5. So that's really the last thermal of the day. They are focusing now, all the pilots, to get the best out of the last thermal that they can get tonight. Very, very impressive. from the pilots, the race we've had today. Wojciech always well placed from the beginning, from turn point one. I think when I joined, he was there amongst the leaders with Vitold. Jarmo has made a very good flight. Maybe we'll be able to get a good lift and join Wojciech in a few seconds. We can see Benfest and uh, and Vitold just on the right there behind in the background, climbing in quite a good thermal, I believe. So it's not complete for them. It's not done yet. For sure, they are well placed to get the points. And I see Sean Churchill with Vitold and Ben at the same altitude as we said a few moments ago. They are just next to each other. Benfest is leading and leaving this thermal.
Sean
Sean is
didn't
above.
wait. He's going to, because this moment is crucial. This is now where you can make the difference, and he don't want Benfest to go ahead of him, so he needs to catch up. Vitold is going to. Maybe they saw a great cumulus. Vitold is attacking. He's trying something else. Maybe a more straight route to the fifth turn point.
Yes, because now 240 kilometers flown, meaning there are only 30 kilometers left, 30 kilometers left into that race two of the second virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. So 30 kilometers left. They need to cross the finish line at 850. So I think they are on profile because they can glide almost 50 kilometers for 1000 meters. So they are on profile if they don't go too fast. I'm looking forward to see what's going to be this arrival. We can see Yarmo pushing. Is a little bit below and maybe a little bit behind, but is on a good side of a reach. And I think he's taking a good advantage of the reach. Jarmo Karjalainen there. Very good arrival. Wojciech Soltysic is pushing. He's very high now, Wojciech, and he will try to catch them from above. That's a very good plan. Very well placed, Wojciech, for the arrival here. Is quite, yeah, is above Jarmo for sure. Looking forward to see who's going to turn that turn point five first.
Yes, some news from ICU. So Kelvin Van Balen, he made an outlanding a few minutes ago and disconnected from this race. So unfortunately, he didn't manage to climb until the last time we saw him. I think he made a safe outlanding, knowing him, and we will hope the best for the next races. But tonight he won't score any points, unfortunately.
Back in the race with Wojciech Soltysic from Poland, doing a very good race. Maybe we can get back into his cockpit in a few moments, just to see what it's like to be here on top of those pilots at 1700 meters. He's there, very good cumulus in front of him, very good. He's gonna get even more energy, maybe 100 meters more. He's flying at more than 220 kilometers. We can see Earth rate is at 103.
Yeah.
BPM, very good, and I think it's going to be interesting to watch his BPM before before the crossing the finish line. I think it increases quite a lot for those guys. Is on profile
Yes.
with a MACREADY of 3.7, probably is at 3.4, but is on profile for the final glide. Pushing at 220 is a very, very good margin for this arrival, and is a top contender for today's win.
Yes, he is doing it. Maybe we can have a look at Tim also, because I can see that he is the highest pilot right now. So this may be a very good position at this moment. He's not so far from a lot of competitors and he's higher. So maybe it will be enough to catch some places. Maybe it won't be enough to be first, but there it is, a very great place right now.
Okay, back.
Okay.
Thank you, Tim, for not missing this. We are back in the race. Turn point 5. Then they have only 16 kilometers to do before crossing the finish line. There are 5 pilots, wing to wings, willing to win this one. Wojciech is above all of them at almost 1500 meters now, reaching turn point 5. Witold Rozak, Sean Churchill, Benfest are there. And we have Jarmo
Yarmo.
Karjalainen just below, I believe, indeed. Crossing turn point 5 in just a few moments. Then they are going to turn to the left to turn point 6. They need to be careful at the end of the race for the penalties. It's 850 meters QNH maximum. Very well done.
The turn points almost at the same time. We'll check out a bit higher altitude, which is a great advantage in terms of potential energy to gain more speed and to take the lead. Yarmo may be a bit in a difficult situation right now. He needs to climb. The other have climbed enough to end this race, so he needs to climb. I know there is a lot of pressure on his shoulder because he have a lot of supporters on the comments. But
I think
he
it's
will
going
make
to be enough for Jarmo, but he cannot fly at 200 kph. I think he needs to slow down. Voshech is really high, and now he's pushing at 260 kilometers per hour, going full speed. You see, he was just behind all of them when we were crossing the mountains going to turn point 4, just behind higher, and he was waiting for the right time. He took his time to take the best cumulus at the end of the race for the last thermal, and now he's just going to win the race.
Yes, it's a great moment for him because yesterday he didn't score any points. So today it's a great moment. Maybe take points at the end of this race. It's a great moment to go back on the overall competition.
Exactly, that's very well done from him. Sean Churchill, amazing flight today. He's made a big decision. He was the first one after turn point 2 to go to the mountain, but behind the first hills and taking a risk to take another reach. And it has paid off. It has paid off because Benfest went for that too. And he closed the gap with Vitold, who was ahead of him. So it was a very good option for him in the end. We are reaching here the turn point 6 reporting point, I believe, which is called Mirage 51. Just here. Exactly. That's the reporting point, and is turning towards the finish line. The first pilot, Wojciech Soltyzik, today to cross the reporting point. Minimum altitude 850 kilometers, and is 850 meters, sorry, and is cruising at 240 kilometers per hour now, going straight to the finish line. Maybe you can have a look on the sixth position behind to watch them and to see who's about to cross that. Joshua Arndt, much higher than the others. Maybe he can get the podium at the very end of the race. Maybe he can get the podium because he's pushing pretty hard. 260 kilometers per hour. Maybe we can have a look at Benfest to see his speed right now. I think it's going to be around 200. Yes, that's
Yes.
correct. So he's going 60 kilometers faster behind. So maybe he will be able to catch them and to be a second or third. It's going to be very interesting from Joshua Arndt. We have Sean Churchill, Vitold, Benfest, Wojciech about to cross the finish line now. Let's go to Wojciech for a few seconds to celebrate this win with him. Thank you,
Great
team.
view for the cockpit.
The bit rate is still good. It's still good, around
He's calm.
100 BPM, calm. He knows he's gonna make it. He's watching his PDA very closely to just check that he's good. He has enough altitude, and the guys are well behind him. He's flying at 240 kilometers per hour. He doesn't need to push even more. Crossing the finish line, Wojciech with a wings show. Congratulations, Wojciech, for your win today. Amazing race from you at the back of the leading pack and taking a good advantage of that race. Witold Rozak, is he second? I think so. Sean Churchill.
Second
Sean
position.
Churchill is
third.
going to be third. We can zoom out on number 5. Yes, Benfest is going to be fourth there. Then we have Jarmo Karjalainen. Well done, Jarmo.
Wait.
Amazing flight today. Amazing flight. Joshua Arndt trying
At
to
the end
beat him
of
on the line. Not going to be
no.
enough. Joshua is going to be on sixth position. Very good flight. Spisech, of course, from Poland as well, is here. Good racing, very good racing from Bisek. Arne Martin Gutler from Norway joining them. He's going to get 2 points, I believe. I am checking quickly the results from yesterday.
Yes, it's very
Just
interesting because a few pilots who arrived right now didn't score any points yesterday, or just a few of them. Well, Chase didn't score. Vitol just has scored 1 point. Sean didn't score yesterday, so it is very interesting. Yarmo scored 4 points, or maybe he scored 4 points today too. It's very interesting. The competition is not finished right now. The pilots who won yesterday didn't won today, and the overall classment is the overall ranking is very interesting. The position, the points are getting closer together. Very interesting competition and second race. TKM
so
pushing to rise in the overall ranking. Maybe the other pilots need to climb a bit just before the finish line to respect the rules, and he do not have to do that. So pushing 280, very intense, very intense.
no, it's not going to be enough for Tim. He's already at full speed. He cannot fly higher than this. They need to be careful.
Cross the
They need to
Bielli.
be careful.
No, no,
Oh, he's done it. He's
he
done
did
it.
that.
Well done, Tim. Amazing,
Well
amazing,
done.
Tim. Just on the line. Amazing.
Wow, it was just a few seconds,
Amazing grace. Well
milliseconds.
done. That's a show. That's a show. Well done, Tim. Well done. I think he's got the last point for today, Team Madsen. We need to check that
Yeah, yeah,
with the
we got
results later on. I think it was the fight for the last point of this day. Stewart Henschel, very well done for your race today. Unfortunately, I believe no points, if I'm correct, but very, very well done. You've done a lot of choices on your own. You did not follow the others, and it was really a great race to watch. I hope you're going to get some points in the coming days because you deserve that for your races. Arne Martin about to land. David Redman is there, so he was third on the podium yesterday, David, and now he's far away, but it's the only pilot that well is the closest one from the next turn point 5, and I think the rest is quite behind. Tim, can we get back to the 2D view for a few seconds, please, Tim?
Yeah, it is a huge turnaround speaking about the overall ranking. And now on the overall 2D view, we have most of the pilots who are going to land. We have Kilo Juliet, Kuba, and Donna Pierluigi on the back of the track. They were trapped in the beginning at the first turn point. It is impressive to see how the first choice they made in the first turn points made a great difference. Right now at the end, they are far away from the leaders, but they did it very well. They managed to keep flying all along the time, and they fight to try to finish this race. Very good flying for them also. There is a lot of congratulations in the chat. So Team Finland, good job Yamo, well done Sean. Team arriving at Mach 1, almost.
That's correct.
Well done Stewart. A lot of viewers are congratulating the pilots. They all fly very well. It was a very great race.
It was a really great race for us to watch tonight. So thank you to all of them, and I'm looking forward to see the total results tomorrow of this race because it's kind of compensating the first race. It's not the same pilots who are in front today, so most of them didn't get any points yesterday among the guys who are leading. So that's quite good. Vosic was 11th yesterday, no points. Benfest, no points. Vitol does at just 1 point. Arne Martin only 3 points. You see, Yarmo at 4 points yesterday. So he's quite in a good position. Bisech, 5 points, very good as well. So it's gonna be quite close, quite tight in the results for the overall results. But we're gonna have a look at that tomorrow when we will start the streaming again. Wojciech Soltyzik, winner of the day. Congratulations for this great flight. Well done.
Okay, so back on the
We
studio,
are in the studio.
sorry, Antoine. Back in the studio with Antoine at the end of this amazing race, we saw a lot of different situation, different decision. Just on the start after 10.1, strong decisions have been took. It was very tricky. Some decisions were not the good ones. They were trapped at the start of the race. Other pilots have followed the ridge all along to turn point 2. It was very interesting, very fast. They didn't take a lead. They didn't stop. So the average speed was very high at this moment. After turn point 2, some pilots tried something to catch a wave, but nobody managed to do it. So they go right on the careers of this place. They take the ridge also to climb the average, to go on a great average speed, and finally going to turn point 4 with the ridges. And at the end of this races, they try to find the great thermal for the end and to reach the great altitude to take the final glide until the finish line. Thank you for all the competitors. They did a great race. Thank you, Antoine, for commenting this event, even with some small technical issues.
Yes, and still not easy tonight, apparently, but it is what it is. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, Jean-David, for doing the job tonight for the viewers, and thank you for following the races. We see you tomorrow, same time at 18:00 UTC. Thank you, and goodbye, everyone. Thank you very much, Jean-David.
Thank you, Antoine. Thank you, all the viewers, to follow us. Bye. See you tomorrow.